Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about the Psychic Awakening. The first reveal is coming this Monday. I am super hyped. I cannot wait to see what they show off. But in the meantime, we've kind of found out more of what's going to be shown off on our own, because if you go over to the website, because the Psychic Awakening has its own website now, and if you inspect the source code on that website, and if you really deep dive into it and start exploring all the little folders and stuff like that, you'll find a lot of image links, and these are the images that we're going to be looking at today, because basically the first 4 zones have been shown off. Again, it's in the folders and stuff. We're going to go through them all, and there's some very interesting stuff in here. I'm super excited. I'm super hyped. Maybe I'm overhyping myself, but it's just too good not to just hype myself over, because if it is true and this stuff does happen, then it could be absolutely amazing. So let's jump in and let's get started. Firstly, a massive shout out to Era, who is a mod on my live streams and stuff. He always helps me out and stuff. He's the one that went in and like more or less found all of this. And another shout out to Wolfenbach as well, because he was a chap who went in and found some of the icons in the folders and did everything like that. So if you see them on Discord and stuff, or you see them during the live streams, just give them a thumbs up and a little clappy, because yeah, if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be making this video. So the images that we found on the website, this is the one that GW have put out. This one is called Phoenix Rising. This is the one that's already been previewed. You can see the little Eldar symbol there. The Phoenix Rising, that could be in reference to maybe new Phoenix Lords. That's what people are saying. That's what the basically general theory is at the moment. I personally think it's going to be something maybe to do with Banshees and maybe a Phoenix Lord for the Banshees. The Janzar model is very old. We got a rumor image, I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago now, of like a kind of a pigtail kind of thing that kind of fits with that whole narrative of that model and the whole design of that model. So I'm going to go with that, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was something to do with scorpions and stuff, because a lot of people are on about like the little scorpion symbol at the top, but who knows? Surely that is going to be the first reveal on Monday. Now, what else has happened is that the image that we have in the background, there's 3 other images added to this. So if we switch over to the galactic map right now, you can see the big map. This is the entire galaxy which we're fighting in, and you can see it's numbered 2, 3 and 4. These are the images that we found in these certain areas. So if we go to image number 2, which is this image, you can see it's zoomed in on a certain location, and that location up to the top left is basically the Eye of Terror. We're just south of the Eye of Terror. This is basically on the doorstep of the Segmentum Solar. It really is the Segmentum Solar, if I've got to be honest with you. Now over the right side is where it gets really interesting, because if we load the an image up which comparing this to like a zoomed in on the proper map, it basically states that this area is around some of the big planets. Like you've got Armageddon, you've got Alicia, you've got the Rock, you've got Fenris, you've got the planet of the Sorcerers, which Magnus brought in. You've got some other planets on the left-hand side, Vodrast, Hydropherne, and stuff like that. There's a lot of potential that can be happening with this war zone. Again, we don't know what is coming with this war zone. It could be stuff like Gene Stealer cults. It could be, I don't know, maybe Tyranids. But, you know, if you're one of these people like me who get overly excited at anything, I'm personally thinking Fenris, Armageddon, The Rock. I know there's been a lot of rumors about, you know, Armageddon, Black Templars, Orc box sets and stuff like that, and with this whole campaign of, like, you know, when they're promising us models that we didn't expect and stuff, I'm wondering, could they start really focusing on these war zones in these areas which have so much history, so much IP, so much stories evolved around them? Could they be revisiting them and expanding them and bringing the war back to places like Armageddon and stuff like that? Now, the third part of this, the third image that we found in the files, is located north of the Great Rift. As you can see there, this is basically no man's land now. This is the Wild West. The Great Rift has cut off the north part of the Imperium. This is like just like an outlaw's dream at the moment. It's so hard to control the planets. It's so hard to navigate. It's basically just, yeah, it's just hell, really. It's every man for the self at the moment during the Great Rift. There is a lot of chapters across there. Now, one of the main chapters, which would probably feature in this, again, this is just my fear in this, is Baal. Baal is basically centered in this. So if we switch over and we overlay this now with some of the Space Marine mapping, you can actually see there's a lot of chapters that are over on this side of the Great Rift. You've got the Brazen Claws, which basically it's in ruins. The Invaders, theirs is in ruins. You've got Hawk Lords, you've got the Crimson Paladins. Of course, Baal is right in the center of that like little red outline bit. You got the Silver Skulls, you got the Imperial Fist, Iron Crusaders, Nova Marines over there, you know, the Emperor's Swords and, you know, that kind of stuff. But it's not just Space Marines. So if we switch over and we look at the Necron side of it, you can see there's some Necron dynasties located in this section of the map as well. So if we just switch over and you can see like just the Necron outlines now, you can see still Baal there and stuff like that, and you've got some of the Necron ones which are appearing. I can't even pronounce it. How do you pronounce that one? Quasrakapatov and Peritia. Hopefully I'm pronouncing them right. So I'm thinking maybe it won't be themed on the Space Marines. Maybe we'll have something like the Necrons and stuff like that. Because, again, we had a lot of stuff when it comes to the Space Marines. And this whole narrative campaign, this whole Psychic Awakening is supposed to go to every faction. It's not just going to be centered on the... Well, it's not going to be centered on the Imperium. But I think the Imperium is going to be like at the center of it all. But hopefully the Xenos races will get their fair share of attention as well. That's why I'm thinking maybe the Necrons can jump in and maybe that could be like their bit, their involvement. What's their view on this whole Great Rift? How are they thinking? Are they going to fix it? What's their actions going to be against Chaos? What's their actions going to be against the Imperium that have basically been cut off from, you know, the Golden Throne? What are they going to do? Are they going to ally? Are they going to try and wipe everyone out? It's going to be really, really interesting to see what they do. It probably might not even be Necrons at all. Again, it might just like be Orcs or, you know, Jade Stealer cults or, you know, or something bloody else. It's just me just theorizing, you know, trying to make sense of nothing really at the moment. So if we go back So if we move along to image number 4 now, this is the last image that is in the files. Of course, there's probably going to be more images, but this is what they've uploaded so far. I think they're going to be revealing a different war zone every week. That's personally my, my view on it. Maybe, trying to get some more information about each war zone. So this is number 4, and you'll probably think to yourself, I did it at the start. Number 4 looks a lot like number 2. It's basically in the same region. That is why it's just more shifted over to the right side of the image. Again, this section contains a hell of a lot of big, huge planets. You have Venris, you have the Rock, you have Katajan, you have Riza, the Mechanicus one. Again, if I just overlay the image of on the actual war zone map itself, like the proper map that you get from GW, you can see like where Terra and Mars is. You can see where the Rock is, Elysia, Armageddon, and stuff like that. There's like little orc symbols on that proper map. So I'm wondering, it really could be anything. Fingers crossed, this one is more like a guard one. I would love, new Katachan models. I would love new Armageddon models. But again, with the whole Rock being around there, Elysia, it opens up for so much potential of what they can really do. I'm really getting excited, really, on like what could happen in this campaign. I am personally hoping that, for example, the Eldar one is the first one. So I'm really hoping now that they have something release-wise like what they did with Vigilus. So with the Eldar one, I hope they get the same attention as Chaos did. And, they get a bunch of new models, and like we said, the new Phoenix Lords, the Striking Scorpions, Banshees, maybe Sorcerer, everything you can think of when it comes to Eldar. I would love that level of attention to be given with new models, and then when the next phase comes along, I hope the next army gets that same attention as well, and they get new models. Again, it could be Necrons, it could be Tyranids, it could be Imperial Guard, but I think I know which the next one is, because also in the files is icons. Now, some of the icons have not been given permission to be on the website yet. There's two icons. There's the Eldar icon, which we've already seen, and the next icon is the Sister of Battle one, which you're seeing actually in the background now. This is taken from the files, if you know where to look. So I personally think the next big campaign is going to be centered around the Sisters, or maybe they're going to try and work in the Sisters and the Eldar in the first campaign, because we do know that the Sisters are on the rise. They are about to be released in November, so if it makes sense for them to be a part of this campaign, and I'm sure, I am 10% sure that GW are going to work that release into this Psychic Awakening in some type of format. I don't know if they're going to have their own little war zone. I don't know if they're going to be, you know, fighting the Eldar or anything like that. I have no idea, but I do know they are going to be worked into this Psychic Awakening. So the potential's there, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we found so far in the files. Hopefully we'll find more in the coming days. Hopefully it's going to be updated again so we can get even more files, because like I said, most of the stuff has been uploaded, but the permission hasn't been granted for the access to the files on the website. That is one of the main things about it, because they are all up there, but we just don't have permission. We don't, obviously we don't have the user authority to see them. We're not admins or anything like that, and I'm not about to go hack a bloody website because that is illegal, and I wouldn't want to do that anyway. So yeah, this is what we found. Let me know what you think. Yeah, do you love it? Do you hate it? What do you think are going to be in these war zones? What Xenos forces, what Imperium forces, what other bloody forces, Chaos forces, everything would you like to see appearing in these war zones? I'm super excited. I really, really am. Monday cannot come fast enough. That is so strange to me to say that. It's like, I love my weekends, but come on, bring on Monday. I want to see the first release. I want to see the first, you know, new models. I want to get like the narrative stories that they're promising us and stuff like that. I am just absolutely loving this whole Psychic Awakening thing. This is what I love. I love lore, I love models, and they're basically rolling it all out. The thing that would be the cherry on the cake for me is that if this is going to be like a proper massive campaign where you, the player, decides who wins or not, I think that would be bloody incredible. I would throw myself into that head first. So yeah, fingers crossed that is going to be announced very, very soon. Right, that is me done for another video. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Big shout out to all the people that helped me find the files. Also, a massive, massive shout out. I actually forgot to mention his name at the start. There's a chap over on Baal and Chainsword, and his name is, let me just get it for you. I just had it in my head. Deadfingers, that's it. His name is Deadfingers. When I posted all this stuff over on Baal and Chainsword, he went in and he like started to slice the images up to try and make it a bit more sensible, which I've been using in the videos as well. So a massive shout out to Deadfingers. Right, that is me done. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts and feedback in the comment section below, and we can have a nice little chat about it down there. See you now, and bye-bye.